A soprano is a type of classical female singing voice and has the highest vocal range of all voice types. The soprano's vocal range is from approximately middle C equals 261 Hz to higher equals 880 Hz in choral music, or to soprano C equals 1046 Hz to higher in operatic music. In four-part chorale style harmony, the soprano takes the highest part, which usually encompasses the melody. The soprano voice type is generally divided into the coloratura, soubrette, lyric, spinto, and dramatic soprano. The lyric soprano is the most common female singing voice. Etymology. The word soprano comes from the Italian word sopra, as the soprano is the highest pitch human voice, often given to the leading female roles in operas. Soprano refers mainly to women, but it can also be applied to men. Sopranist is the term for a male countertenor able to sing in the soprano voice range, while a castrato is the term for a castrated male singer, typical of the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. And a treble is a boy soprano who has not reached puberty yet and still able to sing in that range. The term soprano is also based on the Latin word superius, which, like soprano, referred to the highest pitch vocal range of all human voice types. The word superior was especially used in choral and other multi-part vocal music between the 13th and 16th centuries. Voice type. The soprano has the highest vocal range of all voice types, with the highest tessitura. A soprano and a mezzo-soprano have a similar range, but the tessituras will lie in different parts of that range. The low extreme for sopranos is roughly A3 or B-flat 3. Within opera, the lowest demanded note for sopranos is F3. Often low notes in higher voices will project less like timbre, and tend to count less in roles. However, rarely is a soprano simply unable to sing a low note in a song within a soprano role. The higher extreme, at a minimum, for non-coloratura sopranos is soprano C, and many roles in the standard repertoire call for C#6 or D6. A couple of roles have optional E-flat 6s as well. In the coloratura repertoire, several roles call for E-flat 6 on up to F6. In rare cases, some coloratura roles go as high as G6 or G#6, such as Mozart's Concertaria Popoli di Tessaglia, or the title role of Jules Massenet's opera Es Clement. While not necessarily within the tessitura, a good soprano will be able to sing her top notes full-throated, with timbre and dynamic control. In opera, the tessitura, vocal weight, and timbre of voices, and the roles they sing, are commonly categorized into voice types, often called facca. A singer's tessitura is where the voice has the best timbre, easy volume, and most comfort. Subtypes and roles in opera. Within the soprano voice type category are 5 generally recognized subcategories: coloratura soprano, soubrette, lyric soprano, spinto soprano, and dramatic soprano. Coloratura. The coloratura soprano may be a lyric coloratura or a dramatic coloratura. The lyric coloratura soprano is a very agile light voice with a high upper extension capable of fast vocal coloratura. Light coloraturas have a range of approximately middle C to high F, with some coloratura sopranos being able to sing somewhat higher or lower. The dramatic coloratura soprano is a coloratura soprano with great flexibility in high-lying velocity passages, yet with great sustaining power comparable to that of a full spinto or dramatic soprano. Dramatic coloraturas have a range of approximately low B to high F, with some coloratura sopranos being able to sing somewhat higher or lower. Soubrette in classical music and opera. A soubrette soprano refers to both a voice type and a particular type of opera role. A soubrette voice is light with a bright, sweet timbre, a tessitura in the mid-range, and with no extensive coloratura. The soubrette voice is not a weak voice, for it must carry over an orchestra without a microphone like all voices in opera. The voice, however, has a lighter vocal weight than other soprano voices with a brighter timbre. Many young singers start out as soubrettes, but as they grow older and the voice matures more physically, they may be reclassified as another voice type, usually either a light lyric soprano, a lyric coloratura soprano, or a coloratura mezzo soprano. Rarely does a singer remain a soubrette throughout her entire career. A soubrette's range extends approximately from middle C to high D. The tessitura of the soubrette tends to lie a bit lower than the lyric soprano and spinto soprano. The lyric soprano is a warm voice with a bright, full timbre, which can be heard over a big orchestra. It generally has a higher tessitura than a soubrette and usually plays ingenues and other sympathetic characters in opera. Lyric sopranos have a range from approximately below middle C to high D. The lyric soprano may be a light lyric soprano or a full lyric soprano. The light lyric soprano has a bigger voice than a soubrette but still possesses a youthful quality. The full lyric soprano has a more mature sound than a light lyric soprano and can be heard over a bigger orchestra. Spinto, also lirico spinto, Italian for pushed lyric. The spinto soprano has the brightness and height of a lyric soprano, but can be pushed to dramatic climaxes without strain, and may have a somewhat darker timbre. Spinto sopranos have a range from approximately from B to high D. A dramatic soprano has a powerful, rich, emotive voice that can sing over a full orchestra. Usually this voice has a lower tessitura than other sopranos, and a darker timbre. Dramatic sopranos have a range from approximately A to high C. Some dramatic sopranos, known as Wagnerian sopranos, have a very big voice that can assert itself over an exceptionally large orchestra. These voices are substantial and very powerful and ideally even throughout the registers. Other types. Two other types of soprano are the diapason and the falcon, which are intermediate voice types between the soprano and the mezzo-soprano. A diapason is a darker-colored soubrette, a falcon a darker-colored soprano drammatico. In choral music, in SATB four-part mixed chorus, the soprano is the highest vocal range, above the alto, tenor and bass. Within classical solo singing, however, a person is classified through the identification of several vocal traits, including range, vocal timbre, vocal weight, vocal tessitura, vocal resonance, and vocal transition points within the singer's voice. These different traits are used to identify different subtypes within the voice, sometimes referred to as facca. Within opera, particular roles are written with specific kinds of tenor voices in mind, causing certain roles to be associated with certain kinds of voices.